So majority of society cannot cover an unexpected expense worth of $500. We cannot be having that. You work too hard, way too hard to not even have $500 in your account. So in this video, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you the 9 tips on how to build an emergency fund. Trust me, this is easy and it's effective. Will it take some time? Yes, but it all depends on you. Now the first tip I wanna give you is this. You wanna automate your savings. Listen, it has not worked. You relied on doing it yourself and it doesn't work because usually what happens is people live paycheck to paycheck. As soon as your check comes in, you get excited, you start buying stuff. Next thing you know, you have no money in the end. The first thing you want to do is pay yourself. You worked hard, really, really hard, and you deserve to take care of yourself. You don't want any little emergency to pop up and just destroy your financial world. Layoffs are happening right now. People's tires are getting blown up. There's a whole bunch of stuff that is happening in your life that you don't want a small little inconvenience thing to happen, destroy your financial future. The second tip I want to give you is this: to start small and be consistent. You don't need to start saving so much money right away. If you never was in the habit of saving money, it's going to take you some time. I want you to start small. I don't care if it's $5 a week. Really, the $5 a week will make you feel like, you know what, I can actually do this. I can save and it doesn't hurt me one bit. So start with like $5 to $10 a week and that's it. Do it bi-weekly or do it every time you get paid. But little by little, when you start increasing it. But for now, all I really care about is for you to build the muscle of saving. The third tip is this: you need to create a realistic budget. You need to see exactly what in the world is going on in your financial world right now where you have no money to save for emergencies. You want to just start documenting every little expense you have. What I recommend you do is this: just look at 1 month, get all your income you made that month, all the expenses, all your bills, add it up and see what you have left. If there's a problem in there and you recognize and you're spending way too much money eating out in the street or whatever the case may be, that's where tip 4 is going to be really important. Tip 4 is where you got to start cutting back on unnecessary expenses. It feels good, I know, hanging out, you have your Netflix account, you have all these things going on in your world that makes you feel good, it makes you feel protected, but the problem is you're not protected. Because if any emergency pops up, it's going to destroy you. Now, if you don't have the ability to maximize your income, the first step you want to do is try to find ways to reduce your expenses. Now, this is what I'm going to tell you. I don't want you to be so drastic here, okay? Because once you start making some big cuts on things that are important into your life, it's going to feel like a chore. You're not going to like it. You're going to get upset. You're going to get angry and get frustrated and go back to spending. All I'm going to tell you to do is this: take one expense. Do one expense at a time and start removing it from your life. And understand this, it's only temporary. As soon as you start building your emergency fund and you have that emergency fund built, and by the way, it needs to be at least 3 to 6 months depending on your job stability. Once you get to that point, then start bringing these things back into your life. By that time, you will have so much money you'll be making already, whether it's with raises or you decide to pick up a secondary job. Things like that will allow you then to enjoy those things again in life. But for now, we need to stop. We need to stop this bleeding and start pumping money into emergency fund because, as I said earlier, we cannot be having that. Tip 5 is to start selling some unused items. You probably got a whole bunch of junk in your house that you can get rid of. Get rid of it, okay? So many people have the Peloton. So many people have just ridiculous stuff in the house that they can get rid of. Go to Facebook Market, put that for sale, get rid of it. And the money you make from it, put it into your emergency fund. You certainly want to start doing that because, guys, we have a lot of junk in our life we could get rid of. There's so many stuff around your house right now that you could sell and make money instantly, but you're holding on to it because you're hoarding and you're saying, oh no, I might use it one day. No, you're not going to use it one day. Go ahead and sell it and get it out of your life. Tip number 6, and this is the most important one, is anytime you get a large windfall, you get a big raise, a big check, anything like that, throw it into the emergency fund. I know, it's hard. You're going to say, well, let me put half to enjoy it. No. Put it all into the emergency fund. Just act like you never got this. It never existed. Put it into emergency fund. And stop thinking that emergency fund is a form of punishment. Like you're putting your money on timeout. It's not putting your money on timeout. When you put money into an emergency fund, what that is doing is giving you the opportunity to do other things without having so much fear. Because if things start popping up in your life in these emergencies and you don't have an emergency fund, it's going to screw you over. You're having that as your own protection. You're creating your own security. Put money into an emergency fund. And trust me, you are going to get these large windfalls. Most of us get a large tax refund, which you shouldn't, but that's for another video. But if you're getting a large tax refund, That's a perfect opportunity to build your emergency fund, because some people get an extremely lot of money on their tax refund. You can just put all your money in there, and then guess what? Now you already completed your emergency fund, and that's it. Now you can go back to enjoying life, doing the things that you want to do when you know at the same time you're protected. Now, tip number 7 is this. You want to actually have this savings account in a high yield savings account. Get some money, okay? Get some interest on your money. You might as well. Since you're gonna have all this big cash saved up, you might as well get some money on interest. And the reason why I say separate savings account, especially like a high yield savings account, you don't wanna have that linked to your checking account where it's so close where you can just take that money and just spend it. You wanna have it somewhere else, right? For example, I use right now USAA, that's where I have my checking account, and my high yield savings account is with Ally. I know I gotta go in there and transfer the money from my Ally account to my USAA, then to spend it. By that time, I will have to think twice. I can't just easily go to the ATM machine and just take the money out of the ATM machine. It doesn't work that way. Ally doesn't have ATMs. So with that being said, put it somewhere else where when you get tempted, you would just not use it. Tip number 8 is to track your progress. Now, you're gonna feel good once you start saving some money on the side. You're gonna be surprised like, hey, actually, I got a few $100 in my account. That's pretty cool, and I didn't really feel the pinch of saving that money. You certainly want to do that. You do not want to get to a point, guys, where you just feel like this is just a chore and it's just horrible. Look at your progress. That might give you the motivation and make you realize and understand that what you're doing is for the better of yourself. You're not punishing yourself. You're doing something that's helping you out. And it makes you feel good. And you know what? To be honest with you, you're going to start with doing a small amount, but eventually you're going to put more. Which leads to my next tip, tip 9. Start adjusting the amount of money you put in. If you want to expedite this, you're gonna have to start putting in more money than you're doing, a lot more than $5 to $10. Because you don't want this thing to just be lingering forever. You want to just get this thing over with as fast as you can, but as painless as possible. So throughout time, you'll know, hey, I could probably cut back on a few things, or if I got a raise, or if I pick up a second job, whatever it is, I could start putting extra money into my savings account. Now, I want to explain this. Please don't be drastic. Do not go from having some money in your account and say, for example, you have $200 left every month. You take that $200 you put in emergency fund. No, keep yourself a little buffer, because you don't want any little small thing to come up and you start dipping into your savings account. You don't want that. Just keep a small little buffer in your account, $100 or whatever, in your checking account, where you know you won't be tempted to go into your savings account. But you certainly want to start increasing it. You don't want to keep it to a small amount, because this will take way too long. And you need to realize this as well. I mean, you're continually paying off your debt if you have debt. So eventually you're paying off your debt. So any money you're saving from decreasing your debt, right, from paying off one of your balances, you could take that and start putting money into emergency fund. Now, I know what people are gonna say. Okay, Dave Ramsey is one of them. You save $1,000 and that's it, and then you pay off all your debt aggressively. That doesn't work for everyone, because unfortunately that $1,000 could be used a lot quicker and a lot easier, and there's not a big enough cushion to protect you from emergencies, especially if you're a homeowner, or even if you live in an apartment and you think about just moving somewhere else. You might need to put a large deposit, and most times it's more than $1,000. I find it that people cannot focus on paying off the debt if they don't have a reasonable, good-sized emergency fund. So if paying off your debt is one of these goals that you have, emergency fund will allow you to do that, because you at least know you have that cushion to protect you, and you can pay off your debt and not feel like all I'm doing is taking all my money, putting it into debt. You know you have your money in the emergency fund, you probably have some money in investments, and then you're focusing on your debt. It's a lot better, and you will actually complete that a lot quicker. So as you see, I kind of went through this video really quickly because it's easy. It's simple. These are 9 simple tips that you need to build an emergency fund. You cannot continue to procrastinate and ignore this. Yes, to some people that like living paycheck to paycheck, they're saying, F it, I get to enjoy my life, I get to spend it all, it's great. But things are gonna happen in your life, and it's just gonna bring a huge financial stress on yourself. It's kind of embarrassing if you can even buy a $5 biggie bag from Wendy's, okay? Let's be quite honest. We don't want to get to that point where you can even spend $5 on a meal. Right now, meals are expensive. McDonald's is $5. All these places have great deals right now. But anyway, with that being said, just please build your emergency fund. I do not want to see you in financial stress. I don't want to see anyone in financial stress. And this is the first step, the first key step that you need to take to building wealth, is to have a nice emergency fund to protect you from all these ridiculous emergencies that seems to always happen at the wrong time. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit the like, leave a subscribe. Catch you guys on my next video. And my next video is going to be about about, I'm not even sure yet. My next video, let me see. My next video is gonna be about, oh yeah, I'm gonna do, my next video is gonna be about what's it called again? The 7 signs you're doing good with money and would become a millionaire. Check it out. It should be out soon. Catch you guys later. Peace.